Hey, you. Yeah, you, the hairy person watching or listening to this. I'm Greg Miller, and I want to shave you at a reasonable price. So let me tell you about our sponsor, Dollar Shave Club. Seriously, it's easier than hitting the skip button. Tim uses Dollar Shave Club, and Gia loves it, especially when he uses the razor with that Dr. Carver's shave butter. Dollar Shave Club makes products for your face, your hair, your skin, your shower, everything you need, and it's all their own original stuff. They only use the finest premium ingredients, and they deliver it to your door just like they do their razors. That means no more annoying trips to the store, cruising up and down the aisles, looking at shelf upon shelf, saying, what the hell do I do with this? I want you to love Dollar Shave Club as much as Tim and Gia do. So I've arranged for you to try the first month of the best razor ever, along with travel-size versions of shave butter, body cleanser, and yes, even the butt wipes, for just $5. After that, replacement cartridges ship for just a few bucks a month. It's the DSC starter set. Get yours for just $5 exclusively at dollarshaveclub.com/Greggy. That's dollarshaveclub.com/Greggy. Tim, what's your topic?
Shit. What was my topic? I thought we were gonna cut it there.
We can cut it there if you want. Where you want to break? Where do you want to break another topic in half? Break me off a piece of that
I think it'll make
topic.
sense somewhere, though. Maybe the WWE one.
Okay, cool. Whatever you feel like, big guy. You know, you want to screw the people out of their episode.
I had an idea and then I lost it because then we got.
That was a good idea too. I forgot what it was.
Hold on, it was good.
It was something.
Too.
I wanted to talk about it.
Hold on, what was Tim's
Everyone,
topic that
just
we're
chillax
not
out
going to
there.
use?
Hold on a sec.
Because you were specifically the McMahon story.
Yeah, I wanted to do the McMahon stuff.
That's why I write this shit down, dude. I cannot remember anymore.
YouTube.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Let's
talk about
YouTube.
that. We got John here. That's good.
So because we have you, so we talked about this a little bit, but I don't think a lot of people understand. You work at Studio 71,
Yes.
which used to be called The Collective.
We were
Collective Digital.
originally The Collective, became Collective Digital Studio. Now we are called Studio 71. Yes.
So, and that is an MCN,
So-
a multi-channel network.
Yep. Media company with MCN aspect to it. A way to look at it is as the Kind of Funny guys are a part of Rooster Teeth is a subset of a company called Full Screen. So we help manage different creators on YouTube and other digital properties.
Selling merch, helping getting sponsorships,
Yep.
Right.
promotion,
Helping
just
to grow
general
channels,
stuff like
things
that.
like that, yeah.
So we were with you guys.
A lot of those very early Audible ads you heard on Kind of Funny.
Yes. So we were with you for a long time, up
Yep.
until March 2016,
Yep.
when we joined up with Rooster Teeth and the Let's Play Network for all that stuff. So
Stabbed you in the back.
Very well.
No,
stabbed in the back
right in the
hard.
stomach.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, right from the front.
I
Got
called
it.
him.
Very well versed in YouTube and all of that stuff, in digital media and all that. So I think you're a good person to have for this topic. My question is, do we think that YouTube will always be around? Because you see things like MySpace that fall. And when MySpace was happening, it felt like such a big deal. In the same way that you look at Facebook now and you're like, can Facebook fall? That sounds crazy.
I mean, I would have said no, not in this day and age, and then Vine just shuts down. You're like, oh, right.
But Vine's
not ubiquitous,
Vine was
and I know
never
that, and it doesn't really
as
use it in-
established,
yeah.
though.
Facebook
Yeah.
did something that MySpace never did, which is get the old people.
Yep.
You know, it's like
did
even
get
old
the old
people,
people.
understand Facebook, still know it, and
They
still
love
use
that
it.
shit.
Everyone has Facebook, and it's just like that's just kind of a thing, right? YouTube's different too because it's a social media platform, but it also is the way people watch things.
It is. I mean, I would have-
player. It's the #2 search engine in the world, right,
Right.
behind
Right behind
Google,
Google.
and all of that, right?
Sure.
And so I wonder, because as we see things like the adpocalypse happen, and as we see things as creators leaving YouTube angry at them for this reason or that reason or whatever it is, right? Does any of that matter? Especially when we start to see how music videos have made such a big comeback on the platform.
Because of YouTube, yeah.
And totally because of YouTube, which means that has almost as much importance as record sales because of the ads that run on these YouTube videos for musicians going up, with Gangnam Style being the first video to be 1 billion views.
Yep.
But as you look at it now, 1 billion views is nothing.
Yeah, didn't something just cry like beat it?
Despacito's at like, can you check what Despacito's at, Kev? Yep. On YouTube? But See You Again from Fury 7 was the beat Gangnam Style to be the #1 YouTube video of all time. And then Despacito just recently outclassed that. And when you look at those numbers, there's more people using YouTube than ever before.
Yeah, I mean, I think a big part of it is it's not, I'm going to go look up a tutorial video online. It's, I'm going to YouTube this.
Nearly 4.5 billion.
That's
Fuck. I was like, oh, it's only 4 million, $1 billion. That's $1 billion.
Yeah, that's
what it'd be. Mother bitch. That is a lot. That's like, I mean, how many lifetime views do you think we have on Kind of Funny? Just our Prime channel.
4
Not a
billion.
billion.
4 billion.
4 billion?
Kevin, look into
Awesome. That's wild.
There are two really important stats that I think the community is not realizing. That I think there's a bunch of nerds and number crunchers like me who do pay attention to stuff like this. I joined the YouTube industry in 2013. That was when we reconnected at VidCon. At that VidCon, they gave us a stat of every 1 minute of real time, 100 hours of content was being uploaded to the site. Now, granted, a lot of that content may be somebody's cat video that has 3 views and they just sent it to their aunt. And
Right, that's probably the majority of the
it doesn't have a title, it doesn't have a tag. Most people don't know what a tag is.
I remember when reviewing or playing around with Nobi Boy on PS3. It was one of the first games I remember having. Oh, just put this clip on YouTube. And Brian Altano and I were joking around about it, and he called it, yeah, YouTube's just a trash planet. Everybody just fires their trash off to it.
So currently, that stat is updated to 400 hours of content uploaded every minute to that site.
Jesus Christ.
And you could argue, yes, there's definitely some trash in that number, but the fact that it is increased by that much is unreal.
I mean, I can't even imagine what the value of just the YouTube platform must be in the marketplace, right? Like, I think about what circumstances would have to come about for YouTube to go away,
to become obsolete.
And the first thing I think of is, okay, like a company gets sold to another company that horribly mismanages it, and then the platform just dies in the vine because it fails to iterate and evolve. But then I think, okay, who is the clear leader in technology when it comes to video streaming? YouTube, right? Close second for me as far as just the 2 platforms that I use. Netflix is an amazing streaming platform.
Twitch.
I thought you were going to say Pornhub.
I mean,
Pornhub never crashes,
they
though.
do some fucking amazing shit on Pornhub. Like, porn does push a lot of technological envelopes, but I think YouTube has them beat a little bit. Very far distant 15th is Amazon Prime Video, who needs to up their fucking game. That's just if anyone's watching.
They really do.
Up your fucking game. Because I love Amazon Prime. But so I just don't know because I don't. 73 million views lifetime. Thanks, Kev.
Fuck you,
Gangnam style.
Desposito.
Fuck you and your Gangnam ass. No, I mean, I look at YouTube and I'm like, but I think at this point it is almost ubiquitous. It's almost like a public utility, like the internet, right?
Or
and that's
like,
what,
I was thinking about this in the shower this morning because I was like trying to prepare.
like
for this
Twitter is
topic.
kind of like that, right?
I wouldn't say Twitter. Google. Like
Google, yes. Google
people
can't go
use
away at this
Google
point.
as a verb. People
Right.
use YouTube as a verb.
Yeah.
And I wonder, is there anything that can change that? Twitter at any moment, I think, could go away. I do think that with the way that things advance and with smartphones and with the way the internet becomes more of a thing where people growing up need to know it.
Right.
It's like you, in the same way
have
that
to
we
be
used to
familiar
learn
with
how to
YouTube,
read
yeah.
and write, now you learn how to type. You know, it's like,
I mean, you're learning everything on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing, too, is like you learn to read and write. The first thing you do is you Google it and you YouTube it to figure out how to do those things, right?
Yeah.
And that's I mean, we've talked about this in terms of higher education, but like at this point in life as a human species, there are very few things like practical information you can't learn from watching YouTube. That's a very important thing. Having said that, like, I think the adpocalypse thing is a perfect example, and all the stuff that's happened with net neutrality that says like nothing's guaranteed.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I look at, we were talking earlier, and it's sad to say, but you look back, nobody knows when one era stops and the other one begins, right? It's never that clear cut in real life. It is when it comes to, wrestling maybe, but not necessarily when it comes to something as hulking as like internet video or the internet in general. But I do think the days of the Wild Wild West and the internet are just gone. Like, you turn around, you look back, and you're like, oh, YouTube, which used to be this free platform that was for creators, it's not really for creators anymore. Now we're having to kind of put some constraints on it.
Well, I would say the Wild Wild West of YouTube may be going away. There's still Wild West of all these other video platforms.
But I'm just saying, like, YouTube maybe, but like Twitter's already you're starting to see them crack down on things. Like, there are starting to become more rules than I like when it comes to interacting with the world around me, right? It makes me nervous when someone's like, well, if you have the word sex in a title, we're going to just go ahead and demonetize as a blanket rule. Now, I know they'll hone in more on that, and knowing Google, they'll make it as good as humanly possible or mechanically possible, I guess, like computer possible. But it does scare me when I start hearing restriction.
Yeah, but so the other way to look at that, though, is the fact that like it's even allowing you to monetize in the first place. Like back in 2009 up until 2014, maybe 15, you couldn't just get money on YouTube. Like
2009 was when the partner program started.
They would serve ads, though, so they got money, right? But you didn't get any part of that money, correct?
Yeah, okay. But I mean, even now, they get money from stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I'm saying, just clarification, they didn't start the partner program in conjunction with serving ads. Ads started a long time prior, right?
Yes. Yeah. But the thing was, you had to apply to be a partner and get like vetted and all this stuff.
Sure.
So now, literally anyone can make money on YouTube.
Now
So
it's like 10,000 views to apply at this point, which
is nothing if you're actually trying to.
If you're creating actual content
for you to make money. So
but I would also probably say that led to them actually being profitable, which is that was a smart play on their front. They weren't just being like let's empower everyone. They were like, okay, we did a cost benefit analysis. If we cut people on the profits, it will incentivize them to make more views and actually grow their business on this platform. Which is why it's so scary now that they're like, hey, we've got you hooked on the smack. Guess what? It's going to cost you more, right? Like we're gonna limit your opportunity to make money on this platform via ads, which you've often said and correctly so. If your whole business revolves around ad rev, it's probably not a stable business. It's very dangerous.
It doesn't make sense.
Because that marketplace has a lot of ebb and flow, especially now.
Well, I just have very little pity for YouTubers that are just like, this is my whole life. It's like, well, man, you shouldn't have made an entire career out of.
But you also know that part of it's kind of bullshit when it comes
to
like the big YouTubers that are making like
total just drama
60 G's a month on just video ad rev, and they're like, oh my god, and you're like, you got other fucking forms of revenue. There's
something that's it's an unpopular opinion, but it's something that I think a lot of people need to hear. You are not entitled to be able to monetize your videos on YouTube.
Exactly.
It is an opportunity that they're giving you. And granted, there is a smaller second adpocalypse happening right now about certain things being demonetized. If you have content that they are deeming not appropriate for advertisers, in theory, they could say, well, if it's not advertiser appropriate, we don't want it on our site at all because it's literally costing us money to serve it to people.
Right.
And that's something that a lot of people are forgetting, where it's like, if all the advertisers pulled out of YouTube, we don't have anywhere to host this stuff at that point. And there's no discoverability platform.
Right.
Like that's a big factor that when people are freaking out that one of my 100 videos got demonetized, yeah, but you're still making money off the other 99 and they're not tearing down that 100.
And you're still garnering new audiences and new subscribers and you're keeping people coming back to your channel.
The other side of that, it being when Red vs. Blue episode 1 goes up and goes viral and costs
how much money did it cost
before
them?
it even existed, thousands of dollars. Like
over like 48 hours.
Yeah, and it costs them the money.
Oh,
and
no,
it's just like,
make no mistake. We could not do what we do without YouTube. Like there is at no point is anyone at this table or any of us interested in going, let's start our own video server and figure out a video player and where to put these videos. I mean, maybe Kevin.
I was going to say that sounds like something Kevin would say.
But you know what I mean? Like it would if there were no barrier to entry, we would not. Everyone I know on YouTube would not really exist at this point, except for Rooster Teeth because they started on their own channel.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like we're all very lucky to have these tools. But it's the same debate, right? It's the same debate whenever you talk about people getting their Twitter accounts de-verified or kicked off Twitter or blocked on Twitter, and people are like, "This is freedom of speech." But it's like what you have to remember is this is a private company that has to watch their own ass too, right? And to your point, yes, YouTube is not. I mean, I say it's ubiquitous. I say it's a public service as I hope it never goes away. But it's still a privately owned company, right? Or no?
Yeah.
Are they traded? No, they're traded. They're publicly
Google's
owned.
traded.
But it's not Ma Bell, right? It's not the water service. It's not something that they get to dictate what is good and bad for their company. And you have to. The question I guess becomes: are they doing it in an insidious way, or are they doing it for the overall growth and life of the platform? And I have to assume it's the latter, not the former.
I mean, they don't want the platform to go away.
No, of course not.
Because if it was insidious, then they would just say, okay, we're going to keep doing this, but we're going to up our server cost for ads to be 75% instead of 45%.
Right.
When they start nickel and diming people that way, that's where it seems selfish motives. But if they're allowing people to still post videos that are marked as demonetized, I'd say that they still want growth on the platform because they still want just traffic coming in general.
Yeah.
So
So do you think YouTube will be around forever?
I don't think anything's around forever. I mean, I think that's the thing, platforms are coming and going quicker, and I think you're just spotting the weaknesses in those platforms that are disappearing quickly. Eventually, something may happen, but is eventually 5 years, 10 years, 35 years? I mean, that we're not going to know. The second stat that I wanted to bring up, and this is why I don't think it's a 5 or a 10-year thing. When we were kids, if you asked a kid in school what they wanted to be when they grew up, it was cop, fireman, or astronaut were the top 3 when we were born in the 80s. Right now, it is either said flat out as YouTuber or vaguely as influencer. If you were to ask an 8-year-old right now, I mean, for a few years, my little cousin, she was trying to make YouTube videos. Now she's in high school and she has a boyfriend, so of course she doesn't care about YouTube for the time being.
Sure, for the time being.
Yeah.
Until they do a video that goes viral and they're like, cool, we'll do this.
But when she was 8 years old, that was what she wanted.
It's worth clarifying, guys.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
It's definitely worth clarifying.
It's definitely worth clarifying.
I think that being respectful and responsible is always of the utmost importance, ladies and gentlemen. That's true. I was thinking maybe they'd sit on the table and do something crazy like eat an Oreo. Something like that.
And review it.
Don't be hacks.
And review it. Mystery Oreo.
I mean, I agree with you saying where nothing lasts forever, because if you were to go back even further and be like, can you imagine a time where, you know, TV doesn't exist?
You told me in the 80s a TV one day is going to go away and it's not going to be the way you know it. I'd be like, you're out of your fucking
crazy.
mind. Let's watch
But if
Alf.
you said that now, it'd be like, oh man, I can see a future where maybe it's not that.
Well,
way.
I can see a future where broadcast television
That's what it is.
not around. TV in the way like where we're always going to have higher production, higher value productions like we're getting with Netflix. But Netflix is definitely, I mean, it's not even the future. It's now.
Well, it's also what you consider it too, because you know, when you would ask somebody years ago, what do you watch? Everybody would always assume, what TV shows do you watch? Now, if you ask my cousin's little brother, he'll list 3 things on YouTube and 1 thing on Netflix and then 1 or 2 things on broadcast TV.
Sure.
So it's now just blended together as content. And all broadcast TV is just the delivery method of it right now. And that has to change as tech improves.
Or they fight, you know, they instill those new rules with net neutrality and Comcast goes on to rule the world again, which is annoying. And Verizon.
And it could still just keep dropping service when I'm playing PUBG.
Sure, blame your poor performance on that.
I absolutely will.
Okay. Whatever you got to do to tell yourself to sleep. Yeah. I can't imagine a world without YouTube. But I know they say that about everything probably at some point.
Yeah.
It'll be okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Tim. YouTube will be there forever.
I'm not worried. I feel good about it. I mean, what you're saying is like 5-10 years, that's assured, I would say, unless aliens come and kill us all.
That's my other, when the EMP goes off.
Then we're
then
fucked.
then it's just over.
We got slightly bigger problems then. How do we how do we turn a buck on YouTube?
Luckily though, Nick.
Yeah.
If the EMP goes off and erases everything on
Where are we
YouTube, we'll still have cassette tapes of Death Angel.
We will.
If you didn't know, this has been the Game Over Greggy show each and every week. 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table. Each bring a random topic of discussion for your amusement. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny where you can get each and every episode early. If you don't want to watch them early, it's no big deal. The money you put there just helps us out a lot to run the business, and we'd love it. If you got no bucks to toss our way, though, no big deal. Head over to youtube.com/kindafunny where we put up each and every episode, topic by topic, day by day, until it goes live as one big video in MP3 the following Friday. John Carl, youtube.com/whiskey and waffles.
Yes.
What do you put up there?
Usually me drinking and playing video games.
That's what I like to hear.
One of our favorite episodes we ever recorded, we did a 4-player Let's Play of New Super Mario Wii U, and Nick explained the story of that game, and that alone is worth tuning in for that video.
Riveting story. Riveting story. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
You got to tune into
the John, thank you so much for coming by. And thanks
you
for
guys for
everything you've
having
ever done for us. You've done a lot for Kinda Funny, and we'll never be able to repay you for that.
Best friends.
Exactly. Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you. Thanks for watching the Game Over Greggy Show, everybody. Click up here to subscribe. Click down here to go to Patreon. Click over to here to see a video where I don't have a hoarse voice. And click down here to see a horse.